waiting for Friday to spend this time doing something that you love. Being a kid is nice. Retiring is nice. But what about the years in between? These should not be just a write-off and just waiting for Friday. Just get through it and can't wait till retirement. Because once those years are gone, they're gone. What I'm saying is, if you're working at a job that you hate, just for a paycheck, then you need to make a change in your life. Because what we know as humans is that we live on Earth and then we die. Where we go after we die, it's up for debate. We all have different opinions on that. You get one shot, one chance, make the most of it, and make sure that you are happy with your life. Unfortunately, we don't have forever. So I didn't mean to make this to scare you. I made it to motivate you, and I want you to get after that thing that you've been wanting to do. Now is the time. Pursue it, go after it, you have nothing to lose, and make all of your years, from birth to death, meaningful, special, and purposeful. All the best. Good luck.
Woo! Rise and shine, dreamers. Another blessed and grateful day. Super excited to be on here with the fam. Today is a day that we've never seen before and a day that we'll never see again. So let's go ahead and make the most of it. I love it, love it. Today is actually a very special day. In fact, today is 2/20/2025. Today is actually my sister's birthday. So very special day, very extremely emotional day for me every single year since the year of 2014. So I wanted to get on the topic of what a better topic than time is precious. So perfect time to go ahead and get into this one. JoJo Dreamers, how are we feeling coming in today? Let me go ahead and get live on IG and let's get today started. But I'm telling you, today I'm going to put life in a little bit of perspective. I want to go ahead and light a flame underneath you because this is a piece that I think about a lot. And again, I feel like it's a perfect time to go ahead and bring this one to the surface. So stay tuned, family. You are definitely going to like this episode. I'm gonna shake your feathers up a little bit. Time is precious. Here we go. Boom. IG. I believe we all have these days, right? We all have these days as we get older. There's certain days of the year that are just super emotional. And I feel like as we get older, it's just something that none of us get to get away from. But at the same time, it's almost like a superpower, right? There's emotions, there's family members, there's certain people in our life that can literally trigger us to a whole different state of frequency, emotion. And for a lot of us, family just so happens to be one of them. So blessed to be able to utilize this passion, this fire that is literally burning inside. Blessed and excited going to watch the national women's soccer team. Oh, how cool is that? I love it. Wish I could be out there. Grateful to be alive, fam. Grateful for each of you. So thankful for God. Grateful to be able to get on and learn, breathe, to be able to go outside. I'm telling you, not every day is promised. And today I'm going to give you a perfect example on how to go ahead and see life in a little bit of a different perspective. So let's go ahead and get into it today, fam. Packed out schedule. What do we have for the month of March? We just got back from Miami. We're going to be in town locally, and then we're going to be heading out to Dallas, Cape Canaveral in March. So exciting events coming up for March Madness. So stay tuned. We might be coming out to your city. Jonah, what's going on, brother? Happy Thursday. Today is event day as well. Megan, it's good to see you. So let's get into it, okay? Time is very precious. Birthday in March too? Oh my goodness, explosions going down in March. So for those of you that don't know, a little bit about my story. When I was getting out of college, it was kind of like Murphy's Law, right? A lot of you do know it. When I was getting out of college, I was $30K in debt. I had no job. I was struggling. And it seemed like it was literally just one thing after the next, right? When I was living in my car, I got an email saying I had to pay $33,000 worth of my debt in the next 6 months. I was out playing a flag football game randomly, and I ended up literally breaking my collarbone, which kind of shattered my sports career. So now I have to figure out who am I without actually being an athlete, which that's my whole life. That's all I was really known for. And it was a really pivotal time in my life. where I was going through depression. I was losing weight. All the time I was in the gym was just gone. And I really had to dig deep and figure out who I am, who do I want to become, and where do I want to go? Who am I without being an athlete? And I realized I had to start fixing my mind. And there was one more piece that really tipped me over the edge. I'm scrolling through Facebook one night, right? I'm sleeping in my car, scrolling through Facebook. I would shower in LA Fitness. That's how I'd kind of do my daily routine. And I would hit the gym late night, and I would come back and I would shower, and I'd come back in my car, and I'm scrolling through Facebook one night, and I saw like 6 RIPs. And I finally saw the tag. And when I saw the tag, I was like, this is actually my sister. So, Brandon, what's going on, brother? So I actually found out my sister passed away from cancer at a very young age, literally under 30 years old. She's auditioning to be a Denver Broncos cheerleader. And just like that, out of nowhere, life was stripped away. And there's so many pieces of the story that get me emotional, but I want to give you guys a couple of pieces of it. I was so broke that I couldn't even afford to go spread her ashes the first time. This is moment. Some people ask me, D, why are you still going years later, Monday through Friday, giving value, showing up, still wanting to impact others? It's moments like this. And I believe every one of us have pivotal times that we can go back and look at that completely changed the course of our life. And this was mine. And unfortunately, what I noticed is sometimes it takes us literally getting pushed back against the wall to where we don't have an option but to make things happen. And unfortunately, that was me. I had no money, had no job. It felt like life was crashing down on me. It felt like I had nobody to be able to help me out. Hadn't talked to my father in 4 years because it's tough for me to ask for help. So I literally took out loans my whole college career just so I could figure it out on my own and not have to ask anybody. And it finally got to a point where I was like, I need to fix myself. So I got into personal development, started getting around law of attraction, visualization, and manifesting, and got around Tony Robbins. And this is when the shift started to begin for me. But I wanted to get on here to just give you guys a couple different pieces of what I learned, okay? When I was 21 and I started really getting serious about learning the laws of the universe and studying the 1% of success, I noticed a couple different things. One of the first things I noticed is studying the wealthy is that time is by far one of the most precious things that we can have. Some talk about the wealthiest place in the graveyard. It's not Dubai. It's not going to China. It's a graveyard, right? Because that's where everybody takes their dreams. So when I was getting out of college, I noticed something very crucial. Most people, they live until 75, but they pass at 25. And I don't know if I can get this whiteboard up, but I wanted to try it for today. So let me see. Nope, they're not going to let me share my screen. Unbelievable. So all right, we'll have to try. I'll have to test this out. So I want you guys to take your piece of paper and I want to give you an exercise. This exercise completely changed my life. Take a piece of paper and write down 1 all the way until 80 years old. Because I'm going to give you guys a really interesting exercise. You see, right before I graduated college, we had 80 hours of community service to do. And after my sister passed, I'm like, I need to do something to help me get myself back on track. And I went to a nursing home, okay? And I spent 40 hours, half of my community service hours inside of a nursing home for a reason, to be very intentional. Because again, I started realizing how precious time is. And I had a question that I literally wanted to go walk around and ask every single person inside of there. You know what that question was? If you could go back in time, what is something that you wish, that you dream about being able to go back and do it? You know what's interesting? Every single person has something that they wish they could have gone back and did. Maybe it was dancing. Maybe they wanted to be a writer. Maybe they had a business idea that they wish they would have committed to. You know what the scary part is in the nursing home? The scariest part is even if they wanted to go back, no matter how hard they try, no matter what pill that they take, they can never go back in time. And this was my biggest epiphany getting out of college. You see, we can drop a dollar bill. We can drop $100. We can go get that $100 back. But you can never drop a second, a minute, an hour of our time and go ahead and get that time back. So it taught me a valuable lesson. When I was getting out of college, I was afraid. I was so worried about other people's opinions because I literally lost everything. My right arm was gone. It was almost like I was paralyzed because I couldn't even use it. And you don't realize how much you actually got to use your opposite side when the other side is broken. That was kind of like a crazy wake-up call. So I had to get pretty good at actually writing with my left hand. But again, I noticed a couple different things. Who are you if you were to take away your greatest abilities? Who are you? Your looks? What are you really inside? And I started to notice that at the end of the day, all of us have greatness. Sometimes it just takes being able to really tap into it. And that's when my transformation began. I said, I don't have any more time to waste. Life can be taken in an instant. And I would rather go out and risk to see my potential than to stay safe and play in a box my entire life, wondering what if. So this was just a piece I wanted to give you guys for today. Here's the timeline, okay? You have 1 all the way to 80. Now, we start out as kids, we go to school, we become teenagers, and right about 18 years old, we start working a job, right? 18, we start working, give or take, some a little bit earlier, some a little bit later, but I want you to imagine this visualization. We work at 18, and I want you just to go ahead and draw like a box from 18 years old all the way to 65. This window right here, this window that takes up literally most of our life, because at the beginning age, we're kids. At the last side, we're old. So there's this piece in the middle that takes up a very big chunk of our life. And I started to notice that time is so precious. When I was, so many people are like, Dia, I want to be an entrepreneur, but I don't know where to start. Well, for me, I was working 70 hours a week. I was inside of my parents' restaurant, cooking Philly cheesesteak, scraping the freaking floor in the bathrooms with a toothbrush. And I finally got to a point where I realized I'm spending 60, 70 hours a week building somebody else's dreams. And I'm coming back home to be too, quote unquote, tired to build my own. And as I look back at my journey, I noticed this is literally one of the most pivotal pieces to anybody's success. Most people come into working a full-time job, right? A lot of us have the 9 to 5, but the key really is, what are we doing from 5 to 9? That is the segment that changed everything. You see, you don't think that time really adds up 1, 2, 4 hours a day. But I can promise you, those of you that have been running this journey, you know how powerful it is to be consistently journaling, hitting the gym, getting around a like-minded, fired up community, learning, expanding our knowledge, pushing our limits. Matter of fact, drop a 5 down below if you guys have seen the power of being able to utilize all these different areas inside of your life. Really getting intentional in all of these pillars. Going to the gym, taking care of our spiritual side, taking care of our body, building our network, getting uncomfortable. You see, all of these things have played a role in why you've been able to compress time frames, because you've got a little bit more urgency, you've got a little bit more belief in yourself, and we took a lot more action maybe than we're used to doing. Hence is what allowed some of the things that's been able to allow to happen. I could go on for days. There's so many transformations, so many dreams that have come to reality on this call that I could go on for days, one after one testimonial. Johnny with your music, Jojo being able to purchase dream pieces that both of you and Anissa have been thinking about for years, helping and giving back to your families. The dream team, again, people traveling from countries, states. We've got Megan on here that literally came all the way down from Canada just to get access to this information, just to get access to this community, because she knows time is precious. There's no time to waste. Today is here, but tomorrow is not guaranteed. And I learned that from the best example from my sister. Because it's easy to get in the habit, it's easy to get into the motion and just think like, well, I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it next week. Here's the last piece I want to leave you guys with today. If we're working from 18 to 60, we might as well make these years useful. But think about it like this. When I was 21, my sister passed away at 28 years old. And I told myself this: how would you live your life if you only had 7 years left to live? Let me know. How do you feel when I say that? Does it get you nervous? Does it get you a little bit anxious? This was the key that literally changed my life, because I started to move with a sense of urgency. The people that I was afraid to talk to, that video that I was afraid to make, that door that I was afraid to knock on for opportunity, I said, you know what? I can either wait for the perfect moment, or we can go out and we can create it. And I started to notice that video that I was so afraid to make, it wasn't that scary. That handshake that I was so afraid to go out and make out in public, it was actually invigorating, because not only did it just change our life, it changed our family's life. And it gave me such a high to be able to go out and do it again. Make another video to go out and change one person's day. Shake another person's hand and make them smile. Go out and do something that I was so afraid to do. Maybe like get on a plane and go to a completely different state at the beginning. Kind of like Rory's terrified to fly. I've been there. I know what that feels like. But I've also seen to be able to get to that state, get to an event, experience some insane energy that I never experienced, testimonies, stories, dinners, mentorship, and to come back home a completely different person. Now we're like, man, all of this time that I've been sitting just dilly-dallying, wasting, now I see what I could really be doing, because I saw average moms. I saw average college students. I saw construction workers that went out and made a serious name for themselves because they believed. And they started to really value their time. And I want to leave everybody with a question today, because we're talking about time is precious, right? So let me leave you with one question. It's something that Bob Proctor used to ask us. How much per hour do you believe that you are worth? Let me know. How much per hour do you believe that you're worth? You know, at the beginning, my answer was 50, 200. He said, try again. I was like, what do you mean? He said, well, ask me that question. He said, you know what my answer is? He said, there's no number. There's no limit. 100,000 an hour, $1 million a month. It doesn't, you guys got to realize we live in 2025. At this point right now, there's 10-year-olds that are making 22 million doing toy reviews on YouTube. There's 15-year-olds that are making multiple millions of dollars starting e-commerce stores, right? There's entrepreneurs in our niche that are absolutely exploding. There's people that have literally closed 10, 20 million inside of the company that we're inside of right now. So it's safe to say that it's not a lack of knowledge. It's not a lack of information. The only lack for many of us is just a lack of belief. We have the tools, we have the resources, we have the mentorship, we have the guidance. The only thing for most of us to step into is that belief that we can do it. We can break generational curses. We can go out and become the highest version of ourselves. And if that's you, if you truly believe that we are here to make a lasting impact, shift our generations, and go out and see what that highest version looks like, drop a 5 down below. Let me know. Who believes it? Who's ready to step into it? Because this is that season. You're going to see a huge differentiator these next 90 days to 6 months for many. Those that really step into it and those that are sitting on the sidelines waiting. And I don't know if there's ever been a better time to truly step into the game. So if you're ready to get in the game, I'd love to see it. Let's y'all some 5s down below. And I'm proud of you, fam. Nobody told you yet. Let me be the first to tell you on February 20, 2025. You've been through a journey. We all have. We all have the ups. We all have the downs. We all have people that have gave us limiting beliefs over our lives. But you know what the best part about it is? It only takes one moment. One moment to make a decision. So you know what? Enough is enough. I'm tired of being comfortable. I'm tired of playing at a lukewarm level. I'm ready to go ahead and light myself on fire, pour on the gasoline, and let the world come watch me burn. So if that's you, family, you're on the right ship, because that's exactly where we're heading. We're not here to play mediocre. We're not here to play average. None of us are born and designed to go ahead and live a lukewarm life. I believe we're here to go out and fulfill our destiny. And that destiny for each of us is going to be different, but I believe it starts with taking that first step, because you don't have to be great to start, but we do have to start to be great. So with that being said, I love you, fam. I appreciate you. I'm so excited to be on this journey with each and every single one of us to grow, develop, stretch, and become the highest version of ourselves. So anything you need, I got your back, fam. Remember, we can be, do, and have anything we can hold in our mind. We can hold it right here in our hand. It's game time. Let's get to work.